Hi everyone, my name is Danielle Pickerel, or Hawkins as it has me in the system, which is my maiden name, so that's how you might recognize me. I did my educational thinker report on Thomas Jefferson. I chose Thomas Jefferson basically because I grew up in Forest, Virginia, which he had his vacation retirement home, which was Poplar Forest. So that actually was in my backyard growing up. So there's just a lot of history with that location, and I just found it interesting to get some more information on him. So Thomas Jefferson, he was born in, 1743. He was actually the third president of the United States, one of the founding fathers, and also was the author of the Declaration of Independence in 1776, which was at the age of 33, which I'm also 33, so I found that very interesting that he was able to create such an important document at that age. One of the other things that he is notable for, and that he actually had requested on his tombstone, was that he is the father of the University of Virginia, which that is in Charlottesville. It's about an hour and a half away from where I live. So it's just really neat how much he is involved with where I am. He was born in Shadwell, Virginia, about an hour and a half, 2 hours from where I'm currently located. So that's just a little background on Thomas Jefferson. So not only was he, a president, a founding father, wrote the most important document in 1776, the Declaration of Independence, he also had a strong passion and belief for education. So what he had said when it comes to education is, this is a quote, if a nation expects to be ignorant and free in a state of civilization, it expect what never was and never will be. So basically what he's saying is you have to have education, you have to have knowledge in order to grow, and for a nation to grow, and for there to be a prosperous environment. Without education and without knowledge, you're going to stay where you are. You're never going to go anywhere. His educational ideas, the main ones that I focused on, was educational reform, theory of education, free thinking, and a system ruled by the people. So the education reform, that's providing free public education, which that is also one of his educational influences. That is, of course, still here today. Public schools, that is free education. He had said that during his lifetime, he had little success with efforts to reform the American education system. But the principles that he provided, they continue to be true today, and that is what we follow, which is why there is still a free public school system. There was a gentleman named Jeff Sparagana. He had stated that there were two interesting aspects of Jeffersonian thought that caused theorists to find gaps between his rhetoric and practice. He wrote, for example, that all men are created equal, yet he owned slaves. He did discriminate in the education of genders and did extol the manner in which American Indians governed themselves, yet advocated pushing them out of the way as the American empire moved westward. Which I understand where he's coming from. This day and age, that is not to be stood for. Everyone is not being seen as equal, but it's closing the gap somewhat. But back in Jefferson's day, that was the norm. So while he does have that criticism of Jefferson, it could go both ways. Today, definitely, absolutely would not be stood for, but back in the 1800s, that was the norm. Let me see. Jefferson, he also believed that a system ruled by the people, that was the best way to go. That the key to local school districts, according to Jefferson, is that they give parent direct and ultimate control over how their children are educated. And that still stands true for today. Yes, children are required to go to school, but you have the choice of where to send them. You have private, you have public, you have homeschool. That, you know, the parent does still have control of the type of learning environment that the child is in. One of the other influences, definitely one of the big ones, was the University of Virginia. Jefferson founded it in 1819, and today it offers 121 majors. Jefferson had said that on the most extensive and liberal scale that our circumstances would call for and our faculties meet, and it might even attract talented students from other states to come and drink the cup of knowledge. So that was his hopes and his want for the University of Virginia, and you know, he did succeed in that. It is one of the best schools around. Many people who I went to school with either attended it or wanted to attend it because it's just a great school. So that is my information that I have on Thomas Jefferson and his educational ideas and influences. So that is all I have, and thank you.